All right, so I'm going to start this video in a second. I had to come back here because when I was talking about this panel, putting this wiring, which you guys will see here in just a few minutes on this video, I recorded a lot of different segments. As you can see now, when you watch the video, you'll see how much I've changed. I had a beard and all that because when I was recording that video, apparently either I didn't push record on my camera or something happened. Anyway, I didn't record it. So I need to tell you guys two things, okay? So when I'm talking about this particular panel right here and the way that I have this wired, now there's not hot right now. There's nothing hot about this panel, but just so you guys know, when you watch this video, when I talk about this panel only having 4 wires, the 2 hots, a neutral, and a ground, and there's no talk about me putting a ground rod or 2 outside and running a ground to it, because this particular panel that I'm talking about is in a attached garage to a house. Now, if this was a detached garage away from the house anywhere, I would still pull my 4 wires, plus I would run a ground, 2 ground rods outside. Now, in the video, I did say that. Like I said, I'd never pushed record or what have you, and it's not in there. That's why I'm telling you now. So keep that in mind as you're watching this video. The way I'm going to present this video to you guys is this panel is in an attached garage. Now, just keep in mind, so listen to what I'm saying. If it is in an attached garage, 4 wires is all you need. So what I'm talking about, an attached garage, this garage, as soon as I walk through that door, is right in my house. So you guys know straight up that if I leave this, it goes right into my house. I don't have to go across any grass, any walkways, or anything else. A detached is detached from your house. It's completely separate. So that is the difference between them. So just keep that in mind as you guys are wiring, that if it is an attached garage, you don't have to have the ground rod. Detached, you do. Let's jump in this video and get right on with it, guys. All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to carry right on with this video series. Let me start out by saying some very important things. First things first, let's get the business out of the way. How about smash that thumbs up if my content has brought any value to you guys at all. Also, make sure that you subscribe. That really helps the channel. Them two together, hands down, can't go wrong. Now, I want to start out by saying this. Safety is #1 priority. You know, if you're getting hurt and you can prevent it, it's your own fault if you're getting hurt. What we're going to talk about now is putting this wiring to this panel, this 100-amp panel right here. Now, on the topic of safety, guys, when you're cutting this wire, I highly recommend you get a pair of gloves that are cut-proof, or at least some form of cut-resistant gloves. Don't get ones that you think are awesome and you put them on and they're just horrendous. Get ones that will be cut-proof or cut-resistant, and that you can actually wear and you can actually use with dexterity on your fingers, because that's important. Because if you don't like them, you're not going to wear them and then you're going to get hurt. I'm not going to harp on you guys on safety. I just want you guys to know, when you're using these knives like this Klein, for instance, this little sucker right here is extremely sharp. And if you get cut with one of these hawk bills, you're going to know it. And it's going to leave you with a pretty good gash. So wear your gloves. It only takes a second to put them on. It takes a second to get hurt and a lifetime to get over it. So let's go ahead and talk about putting this wire into this box. Now, we are going to talk about something else that's very controversial, and I know and I hope we have a conversation about this. Down in the description, we can have a very good conversation about this. I'm up for it, whatever you guys want to talk about, especially what I'm going to talk to you about. Aluminum wire. There are certain cases, which I do not agree with, that you do not have to have no-locks or penetrox or whatever you want to call it for your wires. I'm going to tell you a little story because, well, I just want to tell you. So when I first started with a company, a very good company, they put penetrox on everything. I'm talking about on copper, on everything, on the bolts, on everything. And I was like, that is such an overkill. And it is. But you know what? I was with that company for 13 years, and when we had to go back for whatever the reason was, to change the panel out, to upgrade or whatever, which we didn't, but if we ever did, those bolts that they put penetrox on all came back out. There was no seizing whatsoever. So I am a firm believer in putting penetrox on your aluminum wire and on your, not so much on the ground bars or the breakers, but on your mains. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything at all, so why not put it on? There are people all over Facebook land that says this is a waste, you do not have to do it. You probably don't, but I just forget that and I just put it on because why not? I mean, you know, it's easier to get, if you ever have to get it back off, you're going to really thank yourself in the long run, believe me. Or the next guy who has to come back will really say, damn, I'm glad they put that on. So, we're going to put this on, all right? First thing we're going to do is we are going to put the wire in the panel. Now, this is a used panel, obviously. But if this was a brand new panel, you would have all the knockouts completely intact. Obviously, they're not, as you guys know. I'm going to take you guys up on the top, look down, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, this is the connector that we are going to use, all right, for our wire. That's what we're going to use, a 1-inch connector. It's going to go in here. We're going to knock out. Luckily, I can show you guys how to knock out this panel and get the knockouts out easier, where you don't have to. When I first started, I was bending all the knockouts to come out. Then we had to run the supply house and get donuts to fill it up. And anyway, we're going to show you. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it, so you don't have to really screw a whole lot of stuff up. Let's get started. All right. So what I like to do here is while we're up here, there's two ways you can do this. Now, everybody has a screwdriver and a pair of clines. That if you're doing electrical work, you should. A lot of the times what I like to do is to make sure that my connector is going to fit. Now, you see all these are already knocked out, so I really can't do a whole lot. But we see, I would like to put the connector on the top here so I know about where I'm at. So it looks like I have to take this one out. Now, this one starts at 1/2 inch. Goes to 3/4 and then goes to 1 inch. So it's a good idea to try to take out one at a time. So if you had a pair of channel locks, you could just kind of work it in here and then back and forth. But since we have a screwdriver, what we're going to do is we're going to just pop it up just a little bit, kind of roll it. We're going to fold it into a taco. All right, and we're going to hit it down a little bit, just very easy, because you don't want to break it out. All right, and then I want to do the same thing over here. Kind of roll it up into a taco. Go back to the same side, do the same thing. All right, because we want to preserve the other hole that we have here. All right, we'll just kind of roll it. Just take your time. There's no race for this. All right, when it gets into a taco, I don't know why I had to say it like that. You just take it and you squeeze it. Squeeze both sides, and then it's back and forth, real easy. Just real easy, and it will come right out. Did you hear it pop? We'll fold it up. Do the same thing. Boom. All right, now, let's see if that is the right hole. And it is not, so we have to go one more. All right, let's do it. Same thing. Now this one, you're gonna have to go in and down. So we'll have to go in and just fold it, in and fold it, just back and forth, real easy, because we don't want to knock the other one out. All right, take our clines, squeeze it, or your channel locks, whatever you have, and then we'll just roll it back and forth, real easy, easy. Boom, comes right out. Just take your time, there's no rush, and it fits perfectly, and we want to tighten it up. I'm just going to hand tighten it right now, but you definitely want to make sure that you tighten it. We're going to get our wire, we're going to put it in. Now you want to make sure that you leave enough in here for your breaker, everywhere you need to be. All right. So that looks about right, so we'll tighten that up. And a little bit on one side. You want to try to get it about the same amount on both sides. We definitely want to make sure that we tighten this connector up. So we're going to have to go on the bottom side, and I'll show you guys how I would normally tighten it up. So what I would do is I would take the screwdriver right here, and I would hit it with my clines, and I would show you guys how I would go about doing that. So what I would do is I would take it here, and I would just hit it. and make sure it's good and tight. And now it's time to strip. All right, we definitely want to make sure we have our gloves on because safety first, right? All right, so we'll take our knife and we'll just easily score down here. Score the wire. Let it go down. When I get down towards the end, I go a little deeper so I can make sure that it opens and I have a place to grab, because that is important. And then we'll just, well, you might have to score a little bit more. That's okay. Control your knife, guys. It's important. It's cold in here, so it's kind of hard to peel this. It's really cold, actually. But it's okay. We're tough. And we want to take all this crap off. Score a little bit more. Like I said, this is not a race. Take your time. There we go. All right, and now the good thing about a hawkbill knife is you can kind of go around the wire and peel it. If it wasn't so cold out here, this wouldn't be even remotely an issue. But this is real life stuff, guys. This is what you guys would probably be in if you guys were working in construction. All right, now we'll close our knife up, obviously. What we need to do is, what I like to do first is do the ground first. Ground, neutral, hot, like always, right? This is what I like to do. Now, it doesn't matter where you put it on the bus bar. It really doesn't. I'm gonna go down as far as I can with it. You just kind of wanna make it look as pretty as you can and kind of just see where it's gonna go. Now it's gonna go into the second from the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some of this penetrox on. Now what I'd like to do is just open it up and kind of just dab a little bit on there and then put it in. Just put it right on in there. And no matter what, guys, you're gonna end up wearing some of your penetrox on your hands. It's just nature of the beast, unfortunately, all right? You wanna make sure that you get it good and tight. All right, and there you go. So we'll take our neutral next and we'll form it. Get these out of the way, kind of like so. Now the best thing to do to get these as straight as possible and have your bends as straight as possible, what I like to do is get my thumb about right there. So I know that right there would be, if I was to draw a straight line, it'd be right in there. So of course I might have to do my left hand and pull my right, but I would just pull it down and it will sit right in there. And I like to make sure it's kind of level as humanly possible. I may have overbent it a little bit, but still, that's where we need to be. Now, so the best way to do this from what if you have a Sharpie, it'd be great. If not, what you can do is make sure you get it level, coming right across here, and then just kind of score it with your knife. All right, now that's how you know the length of it. So what we'll do is we'll take our Kleins or some dehorners, but since most people don't have those, we're just going to cut it because it's soft, you know, it's because it's just aluminum. Same thing, we're gonna put it back up here and we're gonna mark it again. Now we know that's how much we have to strip off. The best way to strip it is just to go around. And then just take your knife and pull it off. Trying to get it as I can. Just work it off. There you go. Now, we want to unscrew our lug. Put a little no locks on it. Like so. Just cover, you don't have to goop it on there. A lot of people goop it on, you don't really have to, just make sure it's covered. And that sits perfectly in there. That's the way it should be. Well, one thing I like to do before I tighten it down is to back the screw out. Now I do this religiously every time, and I almost didn't this time, but I like to take it out, take a little no-locks, and then put it on the threads, and then right on the side there. That way, if you ever have to get it out for whatever reason, whoever did this panel the first time did not do that, so luckily I was able to get everything out. Now, do you have to do that? We'll have a discussion in the description, I'm sure. No, you don't. I just recommend it because there would be no galding. All right, so with the neutral already all made up, basically, now let me tell you a couple things. Now, you could take this wire all the way to the very top and then come down. I've done it both ways. I prefer this right here because when you push your Romexes in here, you don't have to fight over your main. That goes for just about any panel I've ever wired up. I used to always put it, you know, very close to the edges here, you know, kind of just run it up tight as I can. I kind of like it here a little bit more. You know, I can put some sticky backs here if I need to, or just leave it like that, and it looks pretty good. I mean, once you get all your wires situated in here, you know, it does look pretty decent. You know, you can definitely make it however you want to. That's the way I prefer. There are many different ways to do it, but, you know, it's whatever you want to do. Now, on this wire right here, the black and the red. Now, normally, the way it goes is it's black, red, blue if it is on like vertical, you know, or three-phase. Well, this is only single phase, even though you have two wires, still single phase. So it doesn't matter if you put the red on the top, red on the bottom, black on the top, black on the bottom. But for this video purposes, what we're going to do is we're definitely going to put the black on the top. I'm going to form this one as best as I can. And what we want to do, which is a good tip to definitely keep in mind while you're wiring a panel, if you look right here on this breaker, right here on the edge of this plastic, right here where I'm showing, that is the depth basically of your lug. So what you can do is after you form your wire, all you have to do is keep it where you want it, and then take your knife or your Sharpie, whatever you want to do, and just kind of score it. All right, that way you know when you put that in there, it's going to go the perfect depth, and you can keep your wire how you want to keep it formed. All right, nothing too hard about that at all. So we will go ahead and we will cut this. The same goes for here. You can go to the other edge of the plastic right here, and that is the length of your where you should cut it at. All right, I'm going to go just a tad bit deeper, about right there. So we'll go ahead and we will strip this out. It's really cold out here. All right. Just like that. We'll put a little bit of no-locks on it. And then a little bit more. All right, there we go. And then there you go. Now I'll bring your camera around here and I'll show you a little bit closer view of this going in. So as you see, there's the wire. It goes right in there. And you got just a little bit of aluminum showing, just a little bit. So you know it's the perfect length that you stripped out. So we'll tighten it up. Sorry about the wobbling. Trying not to do that. We'll tighten it up. All right, now I'm going to crank it down here in a second, but I just wanted to show you guys what I'm talking about. That's what you're working with right there. And we'll do the red the same way. Come down here, we'll kind of bend her what we want. I think that looks good. Same thing, we'll mark it. And if you wanted to, you can mark both at the same time, but just for this purposes, I'm only going to mark one at a time. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you're not wiring the Taj Mahal, and I'm definitely not wiring the Taj Mahal here. All right, cut that off, and we will put it back up here and do the same thing. Strip it out. What you don't want to do is you do not want to stick this wire onto your lug and have the lug going into your your jacket of your cable, because that is not good at all. You definitely want it really tight on your lug to the wire. All right, now, like I said, there's going to be plenty of discussion about this down in the comments. You can make it longer if you want to. Before we get too far, you can make it a little longer if you want to, but that's just what, I'm just telling you what the length of it really is. So, but there's going to be a lot of discussion in the comments about, I feel, about putting no locks on your wires. You know, to me, it only takes a second, so why not do it? And it's not going to hurt anything for sure. All right. All right, now, there you have it. That is a completed service. And instead of putting the ground through one of your lugs here, you can actually get an add-a lug, which I do not have, but you can. But that will fit into your lug, so you definitely can use it. All right, this will wrap up this part of the episode in the series of how to make a panel. But I think the next time what we're going to do is we are going to add a circuit in here, and then we'll put a receptacle above it, and we'll show you guys how to wire it, you know, if you were going to go long distance or even right here under the panel. I want to show you guys how to do it correctly, and how to keep it safe. Safety first. So if you guys like this kind of content, definitely make sure that you like this. Give me a thumbs up, guys. Any questions about anything that I've done here, definitely leave a comment down in the description, guys. I will answer as best I can, and everything I've done here is to code, so that's the way we always need to keep it. Safe and to the code, or the code plus a little bit of safety. I mean, you can always go above and beyond, so I recommend going above and beyond if you can. All right, guys, definitely leave me a like and a subscribe. God bless. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. That was it.